Welcome everyone. My name is SheepyMI. I'm one of your commentators today for the Blitz mode daily race, and I am joined by
Alex Sadlitz, or more commonly known as Alex.
And we have a four-player match today. We have Hitman 1382, Furious Magic, Homemade Beer, and Surge. You want to talk about what the Blitz mode is, Alex?
Yeah, I was only really recently actually reading up on it because I've watched so much content in the past and I've not actually watched a lot of Blitz content. So for this race, it'll be a 4-4 fast Ganon. All players will start with boots and activated flute, their Moon Pearl, all the way up to Tier 2 glove, the Titansmith, the Master Sword, and the Lamp. So they're going to have a lot of all of their access across both worlds.
It's gonna be so nice. I find it funny how we start with a Moon Pearl, but we don't start with a mirror.
Yeah, you know. So we have two people going into King's Tomb.
This gives us a piece of heart. We saw the Dam and Bonk Rocks.
We did get a quick map check, but my eyes did not flick that fast.
Nope. Got a cape?
Okay. Cape and Bonk Rocks. Okay, so we have Green Pendant Tower of Hera, and I believe it's 2 blue crystals in Eastern Palace and Desert Palace.
I definitely saw a crystal in the Eastern. Still did not catch Desert.
Was that a blue pendant or a blue crystal? I saw blue. That's all I know.
I saw was blue as well. So money, more money, and a key. And that's all of the back of scheme. Crystals! Okay.
I mean, right off the bat, we are hitting Zora levels of money, and we have the glove, so it's in logic.
And just pop right on over that direction, which would be kind of nice. We're seeing Old Man being saved, too. We meet up on the mountain.
We're also going to get our first dive into Kakariko Village from Hitman's side. Just going to grab some bombs first, of course.
Makes sense. You got obscene amounts of money right off the bat. Arrows from the Old Man, which gives us that save point if nothing else.
Which is always fantastic to have. Going into Chicken Hut.
No chicken clip, though. A piece of heart.
Okay, so Dark Cross only had... So, one would want to go towards the front of Escape and see if there's anything down there as well.
There's definitely an item there, at least 2 items there, because of how the keys are in front of Escape, if I'm remembering correctly.
Because we got 3 items back here.
No,
we got 2 items, and then
2 items and a key.
And then the map. So yeah.
Yes.
We should have a compass.
No compass in Escape.
Alright. Brain.
So it's... Yeah, don't worry. Seeing Bakasaha and Blind's Hut didn't really give us anything either. There's a bug net in Saha. We've gotten another sword too, which I'm guessing was Saha because that's the only place I've not seen anybody else go to yet.
Gonna get a well check from Hitman. Mini Moldorm from Homemade Beer. Full heart container. I'm always sad to know somebody has full HP, so I can't tell if it's the Sang card or not.
Yeah, no one's gotten hit. So there's powder. Piece of heart.
More money, piece of heart, mini Moldorm. A blue rupee.
More bombs. More money.
Wow, mini Moldorm not living up to its name. I like to call it the new hype cave. Because a lot of times, the cave has a lot of useful progression items.
Yep, there's more money in the back of tap.
This is absurd amounts of money.
Almost like the game is like, go play Zora. Go play with Zora. Just go play with Zora. Chat.
We're gonna get a check in Ice Rod Cave, one of those things that a lot of people like to isolate and just not want to go back to.
I did see what was on top of the library, and I looked away for just 2 seconds.
I think it was 50 rupees. And then just the red rupee in Ice Rod Cave.
and on Race Game as well.
Yeah, wow, getting a lot of money.
Not very useful money when she. At this point, like it's nice to have the money because, like, you know, Zora plus Pod, but also
Just a piece of heart on Lake Hylia Island. We got a fake flipper out of Ice Rod Cave from Homemade Beer's side. Which in this case, the only thing here that would be out of logic is actually this waterfall cave because you need flippers for it. But Zora is still in logic, so we should get that checked as well.
Yep. I am curious of if Waterfall Cave can give us anything. It does not seem so at all. Let's see if Zora gives us anything, though, in this case.
I don't know. I'm a firm believer in the Zora with the, getting 600 rupees out of back of escape. Ledge is just a Fisher Price shield.
Don't need that shield, really. It's nice to have, but it's not a necessary. Necessity? Necessity. Scan?
Just some more rupees.
It's like, hey, I know you had all that money early on to come visit me, but you don't need it. The book on Desert Ledge.
Interesting. So Desert is mirror lock automatically.
Yeah. Huh.
We're actually going to get a dive into Misery Mire from Hitman as well.
Mire and Skullwoods are red crystals. It is Pendant Thieves Town and
Pendant Pod.
there we go. I was like missing a pendant there and I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, so far we just have our runners just retracing all the basic world checks and stuff that have happened. But we are diving into an ice rod? In Mire Shed. And the infamous arrow.
The single arrow. Where do you go from here?
I'm thinking we gotta go towards the mountain if they haven't already.
I know we've definitely gone up the mountain, but we haven't gone anywhere past saving Old Man.
Yeah, I don't think we ever actually got to go see what was up on Spectacle Rock or inside of it either.
No. They've not done that routing yet, which is kind of interesting that we haven't seen that yet.
Also worth noting with the items that we start with, Aghanim is in logic right off the bat.
Oh, yes.
So if we don't manage to find ourselves a mallet or hookshot or flippers, items that are quite critical, we might be looking at running through Castle Tower for
Dark products or well, I guess not dark products, but more for like just
unless we find flippers or mallet.
I see a question in chat asking about the 20 rupee placeholders, which is the green rupees with 20 on them, for items that you started with in this mode. I believe so. The green 20s are for items that we did start with, so like there are two swords that have been replaced, the flute has been replaced, the lamp has been replaced, both the mitts and the boots, and the moon pearl. Am I missing anything?
Both gloves, boots, moon pearl, flute, lamp, 2 swords. Yeah, that should be it.
Okay. My brain was like, we just started so much, and they found a couple things as well. I'm like, wait, what else? I missed something.
All right, so we got Homemade Beer and Hitman going into Skullwoods.
We've seen Trench's game. Just bombs. Nothing but just bombs. We've seen some Village of Outcasts opening up a Thieves Town, possibly going in from Furious over there.
You got bombs in C shape. I'll have to wait from the screen for a second and everybody's in a different world.
Yeah, someone's in somewhere different. I am curious if Fierce is going to go the route of this Village of Outcasts into Thieves Town.
Could just dive the first 4, see what they get.
That's something like, are they gonna do like a first floor, or depending on what we get in the first floor, we can go deeper.
Hitman looking for his Uber.
I'm gonna do big game.
I mean, the dive in the Thieves' Town's not necessarily a terrible idea. I guess best case scenario is you could get 3 items out of the front of it, because one of them has to be guaranteed the big key. Well, I guess on logic says you don't need anything further in the dungeon and it locks itself, but that would be an interesting one.
Has that happened before in Blitz mode?
I don't know the exact logic rules off the top of my head,
Oof.
but I suppose it is possible.
That was actually pretty unlucky on that big game. Didn't give us anything, but it was also, I think, almost the full 30 days.
So there's one item in Skull. It's just a red 20.
Hey, get a Froggy Buddy. Which means we also have to take him around the world because we don't have a mirror.
We're gonna get a Stumpy check.
There's a bottle.
Okay.
Be in it.
So that opens up a Sick Kid check. Just a fetch quest. So
Oh,
Homie
getting
Beer
that
actually just set up another water walking to get to Eastside Dark World. And it looks like he's gonna go be checking catfish.
Honestly, don't blame him if we're gonna go check catfish because we haven't seen any. We haven't really seen that yet. It's also giving us another new thing to go check.
We're getting Hype Cave on Furious Magics. Starting off with a piece of heart.
$20. There's the flippers.
All right. So now we know where the logic is for the stuff that Homemade Beer has done with the Waterfall Cave and then this.
Surges in Thieves Town.
So Hitman just is doing a hookless bumper cave. First time I've seen that in a long time. For the Bombos medallion.
That's actually kind of nice. We got nothing off of catfish, just a red 20. I just love this going around the world with the blacksmith that Furious is doing. It just makes me happy. Just so dorky. Believe that's all. Yes, I'm gonna go check Hobo while we're up here because might as well. Here's your compass. Something a little bit. Piece of heart. Fire rod.
Okay. I mean, depending on, we would need either the hook shot or a mallet, and then depending on what the medallion is, we could always go into Cane of Samaria, and Turtle Rock could be accessible.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that we've gotten. But we've
I believe
seen
it was
both
the
rods now.
red boomerang on Pyramid as well.
Believe so. It was definitely something red. But Potter Eastern.
Just a piece of heart on Sick Kid.
Pot. We're taking some pot from beer. Hitman's gonna get his fire rod soon.
They're just thinking about whether or not he actually wanted to go into Bumper Cave. I think he just realized that he technically needs Hookshot to do it. But we did see from Hitman that you can actually just kind of straddle the wall there and get around.
And the blacksmith gives us the hammer.
There it is. Furious is finding all of this stuff to finally open up the world.
I'm actually kind of curious of didn't Amelia do magic bat there? You have a hammer, you have powder, you have magic.
So it's looking like Homemade Beer is going to do a mimic clip. Because there was a compass on left side, so this is actually bow locked. And he doesn't have a bottle.
He doesn't have a bottle.
Or he does. I don't...
Beer doesn't have a bottle.
I didn't see if he was one of the ones that grabbed it. No. Okay.
Yep. This
oh, there's that powder check you wanted.
Oh. See if that gives us money.
That's the story of this seed.
The seed is just like, hey, here money. Here, have money.
Hey, we heard this is a Blitz run. How about we just give you money? Oh, that was a pretty nice mimic clip out of homemade beer as well.
Nice, nice, nice.
As we send the red mimic up to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, that is a really unfortunate look on the deck game. As Hitman just did it, and it was also that pretty much full day setup.
We got 2 keys here on right side pod.
I just realized with Surge having that fire rod, Surge could reasonably do all of what is the dungeon's name? Skullwoods.
There you go.
I could not think of the name of this dungeon for a little too long.
I do that whenever I see TT for Thieves Town. I get really confused. I'm like, I don't know what this is, and then comes back to me. Alright, so maybe I was going to use one of these keys and go to the vanilla big key chest. Interesting that he's going... Well, and a vanilla big key. That he's going so far into this, with pod being a pendant. And we found the compass and the big key up there in the front, and we're guaranteed 4 small keys.
How many small keys have we gotten so far? 2?
3, 4.
All 4?
We've used 2.
Used to have grabbed all 4.
Yeah, because we opened up the big key chest door, and we opened up the front door that he just went through.
Okay, we're in the back of Skullwoods.
Unless I missed the key somewhere in there.
I have not been paying attention, unfortunately. I've been more paying attention to Surge down here with Skullblades. Nothing seemed to be on mushroom.
Ain't a burner. In that turtle chest.
Nice cane, wrong cane.
Another key. A map. So yeah, we're missing just one more key, one more small key.
Okay.
And we have 4 checks left, so that should be 3 items and a small key.
At least one of them is in that big chest.
Unless I can't count, which is common. I did study math in college, but apparently not hard enough.
There's 1 item. Two items. This has to be the key because if this is a...
No, it can be in Harmless Hellway. It's a key locked behind a key technically, but...
okay, I was like...
Yeah, he has 1 key, so actually he doesn't even have to go there. He could go straight to the boss, but there's no point.
It's a pendant dungeon.
Right. I always like to try to focus on keys because I'm a very big key sanity player myself. So, I always love throwing around keys.
Is Moth down? Moth had a... Dark Maze and Big Chest are logically... Okay. I was like... That has 6 keys. There's an item... I was like, there's an item missing out of Skullwoods.
Wouldn't it be great if we got Mirror off of this chest?
Oh, that'd be so nice. We're going to...
What I'm wondering now is where our hookshot is.
There's the map for Thieves Town on the big chest. I miss what... No, wait, never mind. I did not miss what was in this chest. Never mind. Hookshot's in the attic for Thieves Town.
Getting our first lumberjack ledge. See if that is a required item.
Did not look...
That was an item. I didn't exactly catch what it was.
It was a bow!
Okay. So we might want to kill Aghanim.
Might. Hold on. The background music sounds vaguely like something from Castlevania, but don't quote me for obvious reasons. And Furious clearing Thieves Town, just getting a red ruby in the blue pendant for their troubles.
Oh, that's probably what it is, getting the big key off of Moth.
It is Castlevania, I am right. I like when I can recognize my Castlevania music despite the fact that I play literally almost zero of the games. We're gonna see pigs. Hammer pigs.
There's our last item in Skull Woods out of the big chest. It's a green 50.
Hey, and there's Canis and Maria. And the pigs.
That would mean we need either Hookshot, which Furious Magic has. I was not paying attention.
It's in the attic of Thieves Town. And that's where we missed it.
Okay. So Furious Magic could actually clear Turtle Rock with the mallet and the Hookshot.
Just needs a medallion. That's all Furious is missing is a medallion.
Well, as we know, the key's always under the doorstep and the doormat, so it's probably a Hookshot cave.
Like, Bitsy is just really liking magic. Just liking money, not even magic.
Instead, we're getting the Ice Palace play. With Canis Samaria, it's a pretty easy go mode dungeon, yeah?
Yeah.
A fast crystal. I like that.
Looks like we got a fire. I guess Canis and Mario pretty decent for this one, yeah.
And the item checks aren't really out of the way necessarily either, so you can just kind of grab them as you go.
Yep. Oh, it's such a nice room when it's done so cleanly.
First item out of ice is a red 20.
Hitman's getting their Canis and Maria. More around the world with Surge. We're gonna see. Hitman's gonna grab that purple chest, which unfortunately just has a little bit of money left in it again.
Getting our Icebreaker out of Furious.
I love Icebreaker. Such. There's a big key. I'm still curious of where a mirror is.
Well, we don't technically need it, because we don't have to clear Swamp Palace.
No? But it also depends on what's up there
on Spectacle Rock.
Thank you.
I had to think about it
floating
too.
Island. I was gonna say floating island. I'm like, that's the wrong one.
Oh, that is also true. Floating Island could also work. You'd need the mirror to get the item off of that.
True. That's not the one I was thinking. I was thinking of Spectacle Rock because I was thinking like, oh, you go up toward like you can do Spectacle Rock because you gotta go. But you can do Spectacle Rock as you go towards to the rock rather than. Here's the map out of Ice Palace. We're seeing Hitman starting Ice Palace. This is harmless Hellway for beer?
Did Hitman not get the hook shot?
No.
Interesting.
Hitman did not go through the back half of Thieves Town.
Taking a death to the Pen Gators. I cannot say I've never done that 20 times.
I think everybody at least takes one death to Pen Gators.
And Beer actually hitting the attic in Thieves Town just now.
Yeah. There's a red 20 there for Furious. Hookshot makes this dungeon much easier. But yeah, it has been a very empty Ice Palace, Cody. Is your which I do find kind of interesting because but the thing I've noticed, Ice Palace is either really, really full or it's really, really empty.
Either it has like that item that you need for go mode, or it doesn't, and it's always the toss, and I love seeing it.
I don't remember if we have seen the compass for Ice Palace. Our brain says we have not, which means we might have a boss compass. But this was an easy crystal, so if nothing else...
What's this? A scary looking cold stare fight on one heart. There we go.
No,
Surge
it's
getting
20.
some safety.
This has been nothing but... This has been nothing but... just pretty much nothing but money. Money and keys in Ice Palace.
We are getting a flawless takedown of Blind.
I definitely find that, like I said, this was really just kind of interesting. Of just a completely empty, nothing but rubies, mapped compass in Ice Palace. There's usually like a piece of heart, but this was literally just money.
Well, also, now that I just thought about it as well, like the mirror technically may not be required. That could or could not be true, depending on our bows. Because...
We've seen one of them.
The bow I'm thinking of? No, it's the book. I don't know where...
The book's on Desert
No,
Way.
no, yeah, okay. The bow was,
Is Lumberjack.
Yeah, that's the word.
You give him, like... I was like, we know where one bow is, and we know where the book is. We could need the mirror to get the book off of Desert Ledge.
I just wonder if there's anything in Desert then, as well, that might also be required.
Furious being able to use their Cane of Samaria, which is actually really nice for Skullwoods. Especially because pulling the... I don't like pulling that statue for that button.
Yeah, the Gibdos, they are ruthless.
The Gibdos and the Maulmaster is just like...
Hype Cave from Beer.
Oh yeah, actually no. Raids actually could put out English as a language.
I mean, I suppose, but I guess if they are, oh no. I had to think about it. Because we don't actually need to clear any of the medallion dungeons.
No.
So Mirror would give us Desert, which would give us a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But that would then also guarantee that we must have a bow.
Which we can just kill Aghanim for.
We're finally getting our East Side Death Mountain from Homemade Beer.
We're gonna see what Tiara is then. Once again, you would genuinely own, like, unless something's on, like, the only way you would...
That was blue mail inside Spectre Rock, I believe. My eyes caught that.
Last sword.
Wow, a butter sword.
Considering when we started with 2 and only had to find the other 2, it's not that surprising. The bread butter.
And also absolutely not necessary, but still quite nice.
Yeah. Heart containers, there's
Ether.
ether, money, that's so nice to hear, bombs, and money. Only thing really nice in paradox. And upper paradox was that ether. There was nothing really in lower paradox, so.
Now we're gonna get our Dark Eastep Mountain.
See, I kind of just wonder, where do you go? What for crystal dungeons? And then Skullwoods and Ice Palace could be easily clear those. If we do Aghanim, that gives us Eastern. And if we find a mirror, that's desert. And there you go.
I was gonna say, unless we find a different bow, there it is in Super Bunny Cave. So, could get silvers if you kill Aghanim.
Could get silver, but will we get silvers is a better question. But yeah, even if you don't get mirror, you can do mire, which we have, which is ether, which we know most of our runners have ether.
I personally am a silver stan. I'll always love my silvers.
Same, but and there you go. There's your mushroom. There's your mushroom. In a heart container. See, you could do Skullwoods, Ice Palace. You get your bonus money that gets you Eastern. You do Mire. There's your 4 crystals.
Yeah.
You don't need Mirror. You actually don't need Mirror for this scene.
Those are painful.
You don't need Mirror for this scene, technically.
Yeah. So we're gonna get our Eastern clear.
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, like with. Dude, we were in no mode even before, like, we saw the bow and Super Bunny, but like that makes it more hilarious. Thinking about how this very quickly became a mirrorless seed.
Furious also has picked up his going towards a Tower of Hera.
Yeah. What are you doing? What did you? Why Hera?
Unless you're kind of running in here to see if you could pick up 2 quick items.
Maybe. That'd be your best bet. See, check your quick items. Nope.
One is 20 rupees.
I thought Hitman had done the Bekasaha already.
Might have realized that it's a pendant, and it's just gonna kind of piece out of there.
That's what I was like, why Hera?
I mean, but easily, if that was a crystal, oh, you'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, that's what was so, that's the main reason why I was so confused. And there's the last of our medallions up on floating island.
Which, unless we're going into Turtle Rock, I mean, if it might be necessary for that, we do not need that. We are going to see our Turtle Rock medallion, which is Quake.
Quake.
Key under the doormat, just like always.
Key under the door. We cannot get that.
Nope. You need a mirror.
Well, good thing I still have routed out the 4 dungeons you can't do without a mirror. Ah, that was Saint Card in Hookshot Cave. because I forgot who the other one who did Hookshot Cave is. They even quit right after getting the piece of heart. They getting that heart
Vanilla
container.
Big
So
Key and Eastern. Gotta love it.
this.
Oh, Furious grabs his bow and just leaves Super Bunny right there.
Honestly, don't blame it, because
he has Ether equipped. Oh, you're doing right for that Ether.
I think
Misery Mire.
I think with grabbing that bow, you're like, okay, no, I have everything I need to just beat this scene. That's when you kind of realize you don't need a mirror. Once you get that bow, I think Fury has realized, oh, I don't need a bow now. I don't need a mirror now. I can clear my last two with Mire and Eastern.
Yeah. Kind of
if we just so happen to get a mirror here in Mire while you're looking for your big key, you can mirror the desert.
Yeah, that's true. And that would be a much faster crystal to just go grab.
Yeah, that's Asian doing. That's Asian going over to Eastern area. This is a scene. But welcome to Blitz mode.
Right, like it took us, good 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden we find the bow and we're good. We're done.
We're like, oh hey, there's one bow. And then it was like, yeah, so that bow's a little slow, so Super Bunny Cave.
Homemade beer finishing up his Eastern Palace.
I'm curious on where Beer's gonna go for their next dungeon. Is Beer gonna go into Skull Woods? Or is Beer gonna play with Misery Mire?
I wonder if it's almost worth doing something like Ice Palace and then Misery Mire, and then hoping somewhere out of Misery Mire you get the mirror, and then you just kind of luck out and do Desert instead.
Yeah.
That's kind of ballsy move.
But at the same time, for Beer, he wouldn't have to do Desert. He'd be done after Mire. Actually, no. Wait, you're right. I'm crazy because that is. I forgot these sounds a pendant, was not a crystal.
Half magic.
That's nice, I guess.
I mean, if you're doing a silverless Ganon fight, I do think it is really nice to have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're doing silverless Ganon, especially the one that we'll be doing silverless Ganon because that second boat's kind of slow.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's climbing Castle Tower.
No.
Kill the old wizard.
Not for a bow. I think Beer going into Mire. Third is going to Ice Palace. Their second crystal, not pendant. It's not a pendant. I've been wanting to say pendant like 3 times now, and I'm sitting here like that's not what it is.
My brain just has to cut everything super short because I'm like, it's 4/4. It's all we need.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about all 7 crystals, and
I think that's why my brain has to remember this is a Blitz mode. We don't need all 7. Once you hit that's why finding the mirror in Mire would be really nice because then it cuts out having to travel over to Eastern, but at the same time.
Oh, is this a pod dip from Hitman? Potentially looking for the bow?
Potentially? Because he's in Super Bunny Cave? The bow or mirror.
I mean, the first time we saw the run through of Palace of Darkness, I wasn't counting the number of items.
I didn't either.
I'm trying to remember if we found. I know we found the compass and the big key.
I think we also saw the map for Pod as well. I still will forever love the cape dash strat for Viddy.
I think it's underrated. Standing in the goo and having some fun is always fun.
Okay. So yeah, we didn't see a mirror. So we're just gonna go to Eastern. It'd have been really nice to get a mirror admirer, but that also would have been like a little too nice to see. Let's be real. Yeah, you've.
Oh, I didn't think about it. Hitman has neither the mirror nor the hook shot. He can't do East Death Mountain. He can't even go get that bow.
Yeah.
So this, yeah, that okay. So this does make a lot more sense then. Oh, he's gonna do the potion camera unlock, which is just kind of easy mode.
Oh, there goes down Surge. I keep forgetting you can use the cape to just bypass those balls. Cause you almost never have the cape when you come into Eastern.
Yeah. Not unless you see somebody like last item go moding it because of bow.
Yeah. In this case, just go moding it because, Blitz mode.
We got how many beers sprinting his way through Skull Woods? Oh, he never did hammer pegs.
Oh,
He never got
this
cane.
Our
racers have retraced a lot of their steps going through a lot of the overworld and other things, and it's interesting that some of them just...
Yeah, no hammer.
That would explain it.
Don't have a hammer, can't do pegs. In Surge's case, he just hasn't done pegs.
Wow, it's interesting to see the little parts that it's hard to focus on 4 different people at the same time. The start of this was just pure chaos because people could go wherever they wanted.
We're just seeing a lot of the retracing of steps. English is a language, I promise it. We're seeing Beer do the back half of Skull Woods. Using that cape. That's Vanilla Bicky, isn't it?
In Eastern, yes.
That's funny.
Surge getting another death on a spike in Ice Palace there.
I'm having a moment with the save and quit scene, the continue and save scene, or continue and quit. Just debating. It's like, and there goes down Moth for Beer.
Coming up on our Armos fight for Furious. And then we get to throw ourselves into Ganon's Tower.
There's the Pod Big Key for Hitman. Surge is heading into Mire with no gain. No, we can't get into Mire, never mind.
You only get the unfortunate news that it is Ether.
As Bomba's been no Ether. There's Ice Rod. And single arrow.
Wouldn't it have been terrible if we ended up with our items falling into places where we ended up having to do Turtle Rock?
Ooh.
As in we couldn't get into or complete certain other dungeons? That would be an interesting thing. Or Turtle Rock locked something that we needed.
I'm trying to think of a way that would have happened with this seed, and I can't think of what.
I'm pretty sure it'd have to be like some of the most precise item placements. The logic of this game is quite fascinating to try to trace sometimes.
I think we would have had to have gotten mirror but not flippers for this seed. For Turtle Rock to have been viable.
Oh.
Hammer is.
Yeah, I was going to say. I totally forgot one of the, most nuanced things. Furious in the Ganon fight.
Here we go. Serverless too, but Butters aren't, so it doesn't matter. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna dodge that very nicely. Gonna use our keep here to dodge the fire bats. I just realized with Furious having half magic, this makes this torch glitch so much easier because you can
Personally, I'm
use
also
the
a fan of it because if you miss the torch glitch, for example, then you still at least have a lot of magic.
yeah.
And it's got quite a few of his teleports in today.
Light world. Yes, we know where the silvers are. They're on Lumberjack.
I have not been counting the number of spins we've gotten off on Ganon.
We're on track, don't worry. I think it might be one or two more. Yes, coming down. I think this might be. Nope. I can't count either, apparently. There we go.
There we go.
Now for the hardest part of this whole game, crossing the little bridge.
Yep, just don't fall off the bridge. And, yeah. If our viewers would like to get some GGs in the chat for Furious Magic, as he crosses the bridge here to the end. Oh, I gotta scroll all the way down with a final finishing time of 46 minutes and 29 seconds.
Nice.
It is also worth mentioning that what we have here on stream are 4 players out of, I believe it is 9 who are entered in the race. Do make sure to go out of, or actually I think it's 8 runners. Go out of your way to follow these guys if you'd like to see a lot more ALTTPR content. A lot of these guys are pretty popular and well-known established racers.
In those races are Hitman 1382, Furious Magic, Homemade Beer, and Surge. And I believe we have a Furious with us.
We do.
Hi, Furious. GG.
Hello, GG's.
Well played.
Thank you.
How'd you like this mirrorless Blitz?
It was when I saw that book, I'm like, oh, look at that. We need a mirror to do bowls, desert, and swamp. Neat. I also 100% mismarked Hera as a crystal instead of a green pendant, so
yeah,
yes, that would explain my leaving Paradox Cave and then walking to Hera and find out, oh, look at that, there's a P in the corner. That's not good.
I was wondering if you were going in for a quick 2-item check, or I was like, you know what, nope, he left and was like, pretty sure I saw it was a pendant.
I saw Eastern was the pendant instead of Hera, so when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I need a... This is not the crystal, I need to get out of here. Fortunately, the other bow being on the... Or one of the bows being on the Darkest Mountain really beat me out there.
Yeah, it was actually really nice having that bow up in the Super Naked rather than having to do the Aghanim kill for the bow we saw in Lumberjack. That's what I was a little worried about. I was like, let's not have that be our first bow.
Has anyone? Well, the other bow's in the Light World somewhere. I'm not sure if anyone else has found that, but
I believe only one of the 4 players we're watching actually checked Lumberjack Ledge, but yeah, I don't think nobody's going to be killing Aghanim to get Lumberjack.
Okay.
Like, not unless you were not confident enough to do Silverless Ganon with the Buttersword.
Or unless,
Uh,
because some of our people never did some of the retracing that others did, if they don't get items like the hook shot or the mallet or stuff like that, which they'll need.
mhm. I will say, if you do scout that bow on Lumberjack and you're missing the bow for gun mode, I would just go get the bow. Just because it puts, you know that could be your first bow for all you know. So in that case,
Yeah.
you have to go grab it.
Yeah, finished. To answer Chad, Fury is finished in 46 minutes, 29 seconds. This
But
is a Blitz seed, so seeds go a lot faster than pretty much every other mode.
it was certainly interesting
Here's-
having Hera and Stevestown, which are considered two of the quicker dungeons, which less restrictions when all to be pendants. So I would say those two being pendants definitely blazing out the seed, but still interesting nevertheless.
To explain Blitz for anybody who might be coming in while we're in this last half of this for most of the other runners, Blitz mode is a 4/4 fast gaining seed. You start with boots, an activated flute, moon pearl, 2 of these swords, and both the gloves. I had to think about that for 2 seconds. In this case, it was a mirrorless Blitz seed, which was kind of nice. So we didn't need to. Originally, we were going to need mirror to get into both desert and naturally for swamp, but because of how the crystal layout planned out, Eastern Palace, Skullwoods, Ice Palace, and Misery Mire were all completable without it.
Also, to add up to that, Quake being on the floating island also meant that TR was also mirror locked. So
Oh yes, TR was also mirror locked this scene, which is hilarious because you would think in Hera and Thieves Town, which are 2 of your faster dungeons, were both pendants, it was even more hilarious. And they're like, well then, but you had to go through most of Thieves Town anyway because of your hookshot being up on the attic.
yeah, I gotta say that route really worked out for me. First off, getting the hammer off dismiss like that, that was nice. And then coming into Stevestown, even after finding the fire rod and finding the hookshot back there, that worked out really nicely.
Very.
I do believe you were the first one with the mallet as well, so you just kind of sent it from there on.
Yeah, I mean, all the items kind of, those items sucked. So, me getting them early and whatnot certainly helped out here for sure.
We just got some very angry slashes out of Hitman, because he just scouted Lumberjack Ledge and noticed that it has the bow.
An ABO. We've seen Spike Cave twice now, which is kind of interesting. Since the Spike Cave over, I guess you don't have a hookshot, you can't really be Super Bunny either, can you?
Okay, Hitman going back into Thieves Town.
Beer did race game?
He must have done it blind. Might not have checked it.
Either that or he was using that as, thinking time. Beer, what are you? Beer, you're just missing a... Do you hard
Still hasn't. He still hasn't gotten the hammer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because you'd have to do Smith for that.
Yeah. And I was like, that gives him his... It's like your hammer leads to your can of Samaria, which leads to both your last 2 dungeons. It's very interesting as we're watching the other runners complete the rest of the seed, as they're retracing their steps and trying to figure out what am I missing? What have I not done yet that I know I'm forgetting to do?
Hitman picking up his hookshot there in the attic in Thieves Town.
It's Surge is missing a hookshot and a bow. Hookshot being in Thieves Town attic, and the boat, one of the, both the bows, one bow being on Lumberjack, the other being on Super Bunny, being in Super Bunny. You see, Beer is just missing Hammer, and a Samarga would be nice. Which we know Hammer is kind of on that train still of Hammer was on Smith's, which then leads you into your Dark World to do into Dark World to do your hammer pegs. I promise I know the English language. I promise.
You're seeing that it's Quake on the floating island. Going into Spiral Cave.
Spiral's not a bad option if it's not the right one. They both start with S, so.
What I am curious of, though, was Surge getting the hammer and then never going back and doing the hammer pegs for that cane.
That is very interesting, yeah.
I mean, I suppose it's not as easy even without the mirror, of course.
It could be so much. I guess since we know what hammer pegs does hold it, we're just like, almost thinking of like.
Oh? Is Beer struggling with that red guard? He's gonna go check Uncle.
Okay. So she's just like, Beer, what are you doing?
Surge setting up for a bomb jump here in Ice Palace. Personally, personally, I don't like doing the bomb jump. It's not my favorite thing.
No. I remember learning the bomb jump and when I landed it, I was really happy, but I still hated doing it because the nice Palace bomb jump. They're just having much more trouble.
Just decided to go back, hit the switch.
I'm just gonna hit the switch, it's fine. Beer is...
Is this going to be the hopeful Smith's play?
Maybe? Hopefully. Looks like it's heading that direction. Surge is having a time down with the fire bar.
I'm
a little confused.
Was this Beer's attempt to just flex on us? See if he
Either
can
that
get
or is thinking about stuff. It's using like these little plays to do thinking.
to get the unfortunate dig game, which takes, I didn't count, but it's in the 20s.
It's a high count.
It's in the 20s.
It might be almost every dig. If
Well, it's
not
between
every
1
dig.
and 30. And we know, I believe the reward is just 10 arrows.
Yeah, it is just 10 arrows. I think this is just like the way of just like, what am I missing? What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting?
Think you might have caught on?
Smiths? Yes.
There we go. Not going to take him on the world trek.
Makes sense, though, to not take him on a trek. He's already done most of the world trek.
I don't think Hitman necessarily wanted to hookshot past that chest.
Don't think so. Not like it. But hopefully, this will lead Beer into getting their to the game. Do you need a game?
For doing Misery Mire.
Can we see him go in the dark world? Seeing Hitman do the Eastern into Mire play. Which makes sense.
Seemed homie found out what he needed to do.
We're gonna do his pegs, and then into Samaria, and then we'll probably see that same similar routing. Instead of Eastern into Mire, we're gonna do, of course, the Ice Palace into Mire. Or Mire and Ice Palace.
Yeah, I mean either or.
Either or. Okay.
Yeah, Surge grabbing some protection in them fairies.
Honestly, a good idea. Just in case.
Personally, I hate Ice Palace as a dungeon.
Ice Palace is not a fun. It is a interesting layout of a dungeon. It's not a fun dungeon to play. Most of the Pengators.
I just laugh because it's always like one of those common jokes among a lot of players is after playing Rando, remembering how the vanilla routing of Ice Palace goes sometimes just eludes me.
I still don't know how the vanilla routing of Ice Palace goes, and I played vanilla right before hopping into Rando, and I had to have somebody tell me what to do in vanilla Ice Palace because I was sitting here lost for a good 20 minutes on stream. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something stupid. I'm getting that nice clean armor skill from Hitman.
Getting a pretty swift go mode of Misery Mire from Homemade Beer. Picked up that big key real fast. Heading straight on down the Viddy.
Yeah, you can go. I just realized, yeah, no, they can go mode Ice Palace and Mire if they, you know. It's kind of nice that you can go mode Mire Ice Palace together. Because neither of these dungeons are really all that much nice.
I didn't pay attention before. The spooky setup from Beer. Doesn't have to go around slapping switches.
Also, hi, Speaking! Welcome in! We are in the last half of the daily race for which of the Blitz mode. The last 3 runners just have to go mode 3 done. Surge is still missing a bow, which is in Super Bunny Cave in a Lumberjack. And get his can of Samaria from Hammer Pegs. Beer just has to go through Ice Palace, and Hitman is going through a go mode Misery Mire.
Yep. About to actually grab the big key, which I believe is the room beneath us.
I believe so. I did not pay attention. It's either beneath or below us. I mean, beneath or above us. This is Mickey. No. I think it is below us. Beer going right into Ice Palace. Surge buying some more production. I like Beer's color palette for Ice Palace. Those reds and pinks are really nice. Let me
Yeah, the blue can
strawberries.
sometimes be harsh on your eyes.
They make me strawberries. Like strawberry milk kind of strawberries, you know?
Nope's right out of the pen gators there. Nope, not dealing with them. I'm just go moding.
But you don't need to go do that with it all.
Yeah, but sometimes you just get a joy out of using the hook shot and taking them all out.
True.
Clean
Oh,
icebreaker.
and Beer's also been there before. There's that too. Beer's already been in that room. Use that key, gonna go up. No.
Hitman grabbed his big key.
Keep moving past this Sidey Spike. Which is the name of the enemy eludes me. I actually don't know the name for that big Slidey Spike enemy.
Oh, we're getting the hammer pegs out of Surge. So he's going to pick up his Cane of Samaria.
He just needs to do super to get his bow.
But he would need a hook shot or a mirror, though, in order to get over there.
So
Would have to do Thieves' Town Attic.
I'm still very curious of where our mirror is. I don't know why I have this strange little feeling that our mirror is somewhere in Hera. That's the only dungeon I can think of that we can get in without a mirror. Of our remaining ones. Oh wait, no, it might be in Pod. It's either in Hera or Pod. It's in one of our pendants, though. Either way.
I was gonna say the only ones that can't be in are Swamp and Turtle Rock.
Does it as well, because we can't get into any of
Oh,
those.
that's right.
It's got to be one of our two pendants. Towards on pedestal.
God, wouldn't that be a time?
God.
All right, Homemade Beer and Hitman both picking up their 4th crystals.
It's so nice. So nice. And she needs that last little bit of stuff, and then just to honestly not even come to tower, come to pyramid. To go back in. So unfortunately, you have to make the long walk over to the pyramid. But you know what? This is a nice little walk. With a hook
Would
shot
have been
and
some interesting routing if you actually killed Aghanim for Dark World access and the bow, and then you could have just taken the teleport to the base of the pyramid back.
yeah, very true.
Or save and quit in the Dark World.
But either way, had to do the walk. These two.
Homemade Beer getting into his Ganon fight now, and Hitman will be dropping in, well, now.
I actually didn't read Ganon's pun earlier. I don't know why that's a lot funnier than it should be right now, but the idea of Ganon being upset that Link's just dropping into his home and calling him rude, you know. The man who's attempting to take over two different worlds using the power of a mystical Triforce. Hilarious in my mind.
We do have Surge running into Eastern here without a bow.
Is he hoping to get a bow in Eastern?
Potentially.
Oh dear.
Though we do know that there is not one in there.
No, maybe he might also be hoping for a mirror. Maybe.
Could. I'd love to know where that mirror is, honestly.
Same. So I do feel it's more likely in one of our pendants, but I don't completely remember if any of our runners who've been in East and have fought cleared it. They just said, "Yeah, I don't need to," you know.
Well, there is still one item. Actually, before then, homemade beer taking down Ganon now,
Woo!
and so he will finally cross his bridge.
As one of our trackers pointed out, yeah, it's only in one of our pendants because Easton was full cleared. But GG to homemade beer. Finishing the second on the restream, and then Hitman not too far behind them. And the only one left on the restream to finish out will be Surge, who's still missing a bow.
Which would either require a GG's to you, homemade beer.
GG beer.
Would have to find either the that mirror or the hook shot to get a bow, or kill Aghanim.
We'll kill Aghanim. We'll see which direction he goes.
I'm trying to think. Other than the bow, there was nothing else on Death Mountain, wasn't there? Because it was Mail inside Spectacle Rock.
You need the Ether Medallion in
That's
Paradox
where it
Cave.
was.
Ether Medallion was up there. And Quake was up there, but you needed a mirror to get the Quake, so couldn't go. That's why we couldn't turn around.
Right, that's what it was.
And also, GG's, my dear.
Also, we join here with Hitman. GG's.
GG's.
Hey, GG Hitman.
So, I'm going to ask the same question that I asked Furious earlier. How'd you like that mirrorless Blitz seed?
Yeah, it was definitely not fast. Although Furious seemed to find the god route on this one, I guess. I'm guessing you did back a thief right away.
The god route was to avoid Seavestown the first time in Village of Valcast, pick up the Smiths, and then plan to make a return trip, and then do the back of Seavestown, and then hammer pegs and yada yada. And that got me to hammer the hook shot and the cane.
Nice.
In a nice little chain.
It was really interesting with this chain of events of how the seed kind of wanted you to go. We were kind of worried about, like, oh, the book's on Desert Ledge. Well, you need a mirror to get to that book. Well, unless something's on tablets, that book's kind of useless. But you can just mirror, because if you get the mirror to go to Desert Ledge, you can just get the mirror to go in the desert itself.
Yeah, the illusion of a 4/4 seed where you can hopefully skip progression for some dungeons is okay, as there's hopefully progression laying out for other crystal dungeons, but in this scenario it seems like the mirror is just deep in the seed, so we were forced to clear these for specific crystals, and those items for those dungeons sucked.
Yep.
For sure.
It definitely would have been very interesting to see what could have been if someone had found the mirror. What dungeon they would have picked as their 4. So are you doing front of escape?
Yeah. Would have been interesting if you had mirror though, because a quick go mode of Swamp Palace isn't terrible. Not my first choice though, with transitions and such.
Yeah. But you also could have go mode desert with the mirror.
Yeah, Desert would have definitely been a good dungeon, and then depending on which of the items you didn't grab, you could substitute that dungeon for Swamp.
Right. Could have just avoided the bow as well.
Oh, yep, yep, for sure.
Would have been interesting, given one of them being on Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah, you want a lumberjack, one in Super Bunny. And the broken heart, so it's not on ped. Definitely one of the That makes me feel a little better that it's not that the mirror's just not locked behind your other two-headed dungeons. Just a little bit though.
Would certainly be a seed if you were required to go to pedestal to finish the seed.
I've had enough ped required seeds to commentate to not want to do it, not want to do it for Blitz mode. And I'm sorry, something. It's interesting though. But where's Surge going now? Going back into Thieves Town?
That's what I'm hoping.
Be nice. Going back into Thieves Town. Going to get Hookshot. They go because you gotta go see that. You gotta go see the attic, you know. To go into the attic if you're gonna fight the boss. English is a language and I speak it. Shame that the hookshot is so deep in Thieves Town though that it became kind of a might as well finish it. Because you were just already like up there.
Would have been interesting if it were locked in like the big chest, for example.
Ew.
Because then you would have been required to have done Smith first for the hammer.
Yeah. Rather than just kind of popping in here and being able to do most of it. There's your hook shot.
I do approve of that as well, of just grabbing the hook shot and then leaving. Because now you know that is what you were either looking for, your mirror or your hook shot, and just the plethora of checks up here on the mountain.
Yeah. And also, GG's again to Hitman and Furious. Thank you both for joining us. So yeah, hopefully this will be the last. Like from here, Surgeon's gonna go grab their bow out of Super Bunny Cave, and then go complete Eastern and Mire. Those are the only two dungeons you can do. Really, like crystals. Before checking Paradox Cave, to make sure.
Surge grabbing his butter sword now. Certainly one of those weird seeds of just making sure you get that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason necessarily to miss the check, because, we got the 7 chests here.
Might as well check it
nice.
all. The mini Mordorms are trying to be rude. Oh, you had
About his
also,
ether.
oh, yeah, having to grab ether as well with it, because, need ether from Misery Mire. I have a question. Is Super Bunny Cave faster? So Bunny Cave is near the top of the mountain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is
Green,
Dark Death Mountain, though.
the top of the mountain. And you can use the Cheddar Rock entrance on the Light World side? Light World side, yeah. To get to Super Bunny Cave.
I don't remember
Just
who
dead
it
rock.
was, but I do know that one of our racers did actually end up doing it at the bottom of it and then went up and found it. I have a feeling it might have been Furious.
Might have been. Does I guess it all depends on like where you come into the dark world from. So
Thanks, they're just kind of laughing at that. Just saw that it was Quake before going over towards Turtle Rock, and then sees that he need Quake.
it's like you can't get that. But then like it's like I move away. I was like, wait, that's quick. You're fine.
And
You
here,
keep moving now.
going to find out.
Got his bow and some extra bombs. Here's the save quit.
And there it is. Now we just need Surge to complete his victory lap. And we'll be all set.
Gonna be a GG's.
And of course, for Surge in this case, going through Eastern Palace will be a quick little breeze since he dipped it before.
I don't know.
Coming up on our RMS fight here for Surge. We'll round out Eastern Palace, grab his third crystal.
The Zygors did not want to play nice for like 2 seconds. Still don't want to play nice.
Actually, funny enough, one of the things that I usually mess up a lot as well is not shooting Igors in time. Sometimes my fingers just lag.
Sometimes. Making sure to grab the extra arrows that are provided here is definitely always a good play. Just in case. There's that red 20 and the third crystal for Surge.
All right, now it's time to let's see how quickly you can god route the mire. I mean, it's already a pretty god mire.
Oh, excuse me. It's a very nice Godmire, too. It's like there's a Godmire and there's a Godmire.
Now the real god mire is when you get the big key, because you can go mode. You get the big key in the on the bridge chest, and then you just hover over.
Gods.
That's the one we like to see.
Wait, don't get hit by the fireball. Slide straight past your head. Down the mile we go. Maya's such a interesting dungeon to me because of just how it's not only because of how it's laid out, but also how the more specifically how the enemies are laid out.
I think Mire 2, that room there, is one of my favorite ones.
That very
It's
first
just
one
a
with the
slaughter fest.
yeah, it's such an interesting slaughter fest too. You know, with the wizards and the levers. It also makes it kind of interesting of how that room works really, really well, especially when you have the Canis Amaria. This room still forever like slightly confuses me on how the fire bars work some days, because I'll be like, oh, that fire bar's above me. I don't have to worry about it. And it's like, no, that fire bar's on the same level as you.
My favorite thing is the pathing that they take, because they just turn around when they want.
It's just like, oh, I'm gonna hit this wall just enough to bounce right off of
Perfect
it.
time for half magic.
Yeah.
As long as that switch is hit, come over here, grab this chest. And then we can go towards our chest with our big key.
Yeah. We go down this way, go across. With this door. Get our big key.
And there we go. Now it's just the hunt for Viddy.
Now just head towards Viddy.
Viddy's one of my favorite bosses to kill, especially when you get silver arrows. Makes it feel so good.
Viddy's just so nice with silvers. I also just love powering that anti-fairy that's underneath the skull there. It's just poof. You're a fairy now.
Yeah, it's one of those nice ones too, to always keep in mind, because not necessarily everybody remembers that once they start moving, you cannot powder them. You have to get them while they're still.
It's just harder to powder. Anti-fairies are my worst enemy. Mostly because it's like, I have to remember they exist.
So interesting to see a surprising inventory rate as well in this seed.
Oh yes, the 91 to 20, the 121, the 122.
Well, just relatively the amount of usable items that we a lot of them we didn't even necessarily require, but we ended up finding them along our path anyway.
You mean like both, like our ice rod?
We got our ice
You know,
rod.
it?
I guess we didn't need our bombos, arcane. I don't think technically you needed the cape.
Technically, no. It just made some sites nicer. Like Viddy, as we see here.
We didn't need powder.
Did not need powder, just made it's like someone to get a convenience.
Logically
mushroom.
speaking, we needed flippers to go into Ice Palace. However,
Yeah.
could have broken that sequence too.
We definitely did not need bug nut.
I don't believe Sick Kid or anything, so we did need bottles. It's just
Bottles of
interesting to
PP.
see how little you can use in a Blitz seed and just make it so easy.
We didn't need any of the mail upgrades. Or the shield for that matter.
Alright, and with the acquisition of the 4th crystal, we are headed towards Ganon.
And the thing about Bombos was just more convenient for Ice Palace. Like, I think pretty much a lot of the stuff that we got was just more of convenience items. This helped make the seed a little easier, but we're not 100% necessary. Like powder, we made it nicer to get anti-fairies. Bugnet helped us catch fairies. Bombos made it so Ice Palace was a little bit easier. The Ice Rod, I think, is the only thing we just did not 100%, wouldn't even make anything convenient. It was just something we ended up picking up and was just like, this is nice to find. This may not be needed. We will see.
Besides Trinex, the only other thing that Ice Rod's usually good for bosses would be fighting Lemolas. And we weren't going to do desert, so.
Because we didn't get in the desert, because the same reason I'm thinking to the rock.
That
Sword
too.
Palace, for that matter. Because of no mirror. I'm still so curious where our mirror is, but it's like this has got to be in either Hera or Pod. Even the places it can be.
Which one of our dungeons wasn't it Skullwoods and Misery Mire were our red crystals? Right? It was top left, bottom left of the Dark World?
Yes!
So I wonder about Pyramid Fairy.
I forgot about Pyramid Fairy!
I just remembered as we ran past it for the 4th time in the stream. Wow, I wonder if you could have had Mirror on Pyramid Fairy.
Could have been Mirror Pyramid Fairy!
Would have been,
That'd have been just hilarious. Oh, that'd have just been funny. It could have been if Pyramid Fairy. It was either in one of our 2 pendant dungeons, or Pyramid Fairy. If one of those 3 did not have it, it was the only other place I can think of is that one of them had the shovel, and that's where Mirror was. Because we know it's not on pedestal.
Right. And we did get a Nagina check out of Surge, and I believe it was just a piece of heart.
Yes.
Or
and
something
it was,
like that.
I believe it was actually out of Hitman, but we got a Nagina check. And it's just kind of interesting to think about, like, what we saw while players were trying to figure out where they were missing items.
Obviously, is much easier for us because, we're not trying to think about all the things, piece all the logic together. We just kind of have this omniscient knowledge.
We have this all-powerful, all-knowing, without spoiler log knowledge. God, can you imagine if we actually did have this prologue? Because then that would just be interesting to dive into, just to figure out where the mirror is.
Well, could always just go play the seed.
Mm.
I'm almost tempted now. Just rush down Skullwood's Misery Mire, throw myself into a Pyramid Fair.
You're very. But then because you do know where almost everything is for those, so it works out.
Well, because I don't know, it might have provided some interesting routing as well. If you get something like that at the mirror at a Pyramid Fairy, that would put Swamp Palace and Desert into, you already completed Skullwoods and Misery Mire. And on Surge's side, we have the end of Ganon.
Woo! I'm just thinking about it, but you would have to have done. No, you wouldn't have had to do Eastern or Skullwoods by that point. You just would have definitely had to have dipped the East down for your hook shot.
Right, like you could have done Skullwoods and Misery Mire for their crystals, and if you got Mirror, you could just go straight into. I mean, it'd be a little bit weird to. Oh no, it's not that bad because you have boots and. Huh. That would have provided much thing.
Yeah! But GG to Surge! That you got me thinking about it now. You got me thinking about it.
Yeah, there was some interesting routes that you could have taken in all this. But yeah, get our wonderful GGs in the chat for Surge. And overall, the race itself is almost coming to a full conclusion. So far, that is it for our runners that volunteered to be in the stream.
Yes.
It was certainly a strange seed.
It was definitely a stream seed. Because I can do this. No.
I mean, getting Gold Sword is always just so nice.
Yeah.
But in this case, actually, no, not entirely necessary. Because what is it? It's Trinex and Vidi, I believe, are the two bosses who are affected by the damage of it.
By the damage of
Gold Sword. Because I know Ganon's not.
I don't.
So I think it's just those two guys that get affected by the damage value. Unless it might also be Colts there.
I don't know. I definitely know. It's like Ganon. Okay, Ganon takes slashes and it spins on gold. I was like, I know Blind does not get affected by it.
Right. I know Moth doesn't either because of a damage value when it comes to the spikes and hitting Moth into those.
Into those.
That's actually one of those cool little things that I recently learned about. That if you had Gold Sword to fight Moth, I believe you couldn't actually hurt it in the release of the game. But with the randomizer code, they actually managed to modify it. So I think you do, it's supposed to be tempered damage against Moth with the Gold Sword.
Don't. Like I think most bosses are just like, it's tempered damage rather than than gold.
So yeah, interesting to know that, gold was nice, but it wasn't not necessary as well.
Yeah, no more knows you're gonna fall and do it. So pretty much everything but the Easttown, Eastern. Go what?
Yeah, Moth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, Easttown and Eastern.
I don't know. I don't usually try to think too hard into my sword damages. I see tempered and I'm like, yep, we're done.
Yeah, pretty much. Ringo's like, oh, hey, tempered, nice. But GG Surge. This was a very interesting Blitz seed.
It was one of those kind of feast or famine things that if you didn't dive that Thieves Town all the way to the attic, you were pretty much just going to be screwed.
Yeah.
Which would actually, again, make me rethink that whole like mirror pathing. If you managed to go something like Skullwood's Misery Mire, get a mirror, because then you wouldn't have to. Because you would have mirror to go across Death Mountain.
So curious of where this is gonna. Like, I'm just so curious about this seed now because, like, I really do want to find out where Mira is. And I might play with it a little bit. Might.
I'm just trying to think of all the scenarios that could happen here.
We could always find out by playing the seed ourselves.
Gotta give myself homework after the race.
But only if we want to, you know, this is still technically our own silliness about it. But yeah, this was definitely really a very interesting seed. It's like how this seed brought it out. But yeah, GG's to all of our runners. It was not in Hookshot Cave. We're thinking Hera, Pod. Oh, it could have been Hera or Pod Bottom. I don't think all the items in the East Town got picked up either. No, wait, we missed an item.
I was going to say, we know about a red 20 out of Hera, because Furious accidentally dipped in that, had it mismarked as a crystal.
Yeah.
So it could have been in Hera. Don't completely know.
We'll find out probably later. Maybe. Depending on if one of us decides to play the seed or not. But yeah, as we said, GG to everyone who was on stream. There is a cross-key seed starting in about 15 minutes. I do not know which channel that is on. And I believe tomorrow's daily... That's not... And tomorrow... No, Sunday's daily. Sunday's... Then we have the open weekly on Sunday. So it's gonna be a good time. I don't believe I have anything else to say. If my other Co-com? Okay. Oh, and Mega Man, if I'm reading this correctly, Mega Man 2 Randomizer is starting up soon, actually, after this. So that should be actually an interesting watch. I've not seen an M2R. I've not seen any Mega Man Randomizers at all, so I will be very much interested in watching that. I actually didn't know Mega Man had a randomizer.
Hey, for the longest time, I never knew about ALTTPR. I grew up playing this game. I loved it, and then I learned about it, and I was like, I gotta dive into Randomizer, and well, here I am.
But yeah, we're gonna have some Mega Man 2 Randomizer coming up soon. Like I said, Sunday is the open weekly, and there's a cross key seed starting up soon. Mega Man 3 also has a rando? I'm gonna go find out where these randos. I'm gonna find out more about these randos.
And also a last final shout out. Make sure to go give all of our wonderful racers your love and support and follow. They all did a great job. We all, take our risks and make our dips and dive out of things fast enough. Also, a wonderful shout out and thank you to our trackers. I am Cody and Iker. You guys are on top of it, and definitely appreciate that.
And then, as you know, I'm Sheepy Amaya, and this is my co-commentator, Alex Salitz, and we've been having a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah. might look forward to coming back again on Sunday and seeing how that goes.
Thanks, guys, again for watching, and have a good night.